Grand jury can be a valuable tool in the criminal justice system to determine if the state has a case against someone suspected of a crime.
But Santa Cruz County doesn't have a grand jury process, a fact brought front and center during one of its most prolific murder cases going on right now.
Cora Nylander looks into the impact that may have on justice in the county in tonight's News 4 Tucson investigation.
Right now, Santa Cruz County is in the middle of a murder case getting national attention. A local rancher accused of murdering an undocumented immigrant on his property. The defense questioning why the case didn't go before a grand jury. The state saying it's because they simply don't have that option here. George Allen Kelly is a Keno Springs rancher charged with second-degree murder, accused of shooting and killing an undocumented immigrant on his property in January. This was his preliminary hearing last month, appearing before the Justice of the Peace to determine if the state has probable cause to charge him. His attorney, Brenna Larkin, questioned why a grand jury wasn't used.
The state can take this case to a state grand jury. That's not how preliminary hearings are supposed to work. So I strongly urge the court to treat Mr. Kelly's case the way all these other cases are treated.
But state prosecutors quickly fired back, saying that's not an option in Santa Cruz County.
That is not a process we have available. It's certainly something that the state would like to have that ability in our county, and it's certainly something we've been discussing with the court, but we just don't have the ability to do that. This case would be prime for a grand jury, frankly, Judge. We just don't have the ability to do that.
The judge found probable cause. Kelly is now awaiting trial. The News 4 Tucson investigators made multiple requests to speak with the court about the lack of a grand jury, but we did not hear back. What exactly is a grand jury?
So a grand jury is a body of citizens that decides whether or not people should be indicted.
Louis Fidel is an experienced attorney in Pima County, where there has long been a grand jury system in place. He feels not having such an option would be problematic.
It makes things more complicated for the parties involved in the criminal justice system because a preliminary hearing is a more involved process.
As we saw in Kelly's case, it's like a mini trial where witnesses can be called by both sides. A grand jury is a private proceeding involving only the state, not the defense. But unlike a preliminary hearing, can be done before a suspect is arrested. Two Santa Cruz County defense attorneys tell the News 4 Tucson investigators they actually prefer not having a grand jury.
You know, we would like all the transparency in the world when it comes to being able to put on evidence and being able to put on witnesses.
Luis Parra believes with a much quieter courthouse than larger counties, Santa Cruz County doesn't need grand juries.
The crime rates are not as high here in Santa Cruz County compared to other parts of the state and compared to other parts of the nation for that matter.
Because it's a small county, everybody knows each other. There's conflicts, there's other issues, people don't want to serve on juries, sometimes they don't meet the qualifications, they're not American citizen.
Attorney George Damon believes grand juries can be more expensive and burdensome than they are worth for small counties.
Santa Cruz County is not an outlier. I think a lot of the small counties do not use a grand jury system because it's just not feasible financially and otherwise.
As for the George Kelly case, he awaits his trial, which is scheduled to start here in Nogales September 6th. We'll keep you updated as that case moves forward. Investigating for you, Cora Nylander, News 4 Tucson.